Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Excelsior. It's the Tier 5 British premium heavy tank located on the north spawn of Fisherman's Bay, and this one is under the command of ProvoBob. Okay, game on. Now this is another game on the Australia-New Zealand server, so it's got plenty of bots in it, I'm afraid, because they can't get enough real live players to populate the battles with real people. So they basically have to make up most of the numbers with bots and some real humans if they can get them. The Excelsior is a favourite tank of ProvoBob. It's a British design that was supposed to replace the Churchill, but never actually went into production. There is a prototype. It's actually at the Bobbington Tank Museum, so you can see it for real. And well, it's supposed to be a redesign, you could say, of the Cromwell in sorts. It's got a 75mm gun. It's capable of doing 115 alpha, and he's looking to get a shot to a Type 95. It's coming to sight. Now you can do, actually it's 110 alpha, 91mm with standard ammo, and with the premium ammo which he's using at the moment, it'll go through 144mm. He really doesn't need to use premium ammo on a Type 95. They've got so little armour that you can't really easily pen it. Now you can easily pen that DW2 again. He doesn't need to use premium ammo. He's getting nice hits on the guy, but it's a bit of a waste of ammo to use premium. He'd be much better off saving the premium ammo for something that he'd have difficulty trying to pen. And there are a couple of tanks in the enemy team that he would have difficulty with, and that's the T14. That's an American premium heavy. It's got slightly thicker armour, so it's actually more difficult to kill. And there are a couple of Matildas on the enemy team as well. And there's that T14 making his presence known. He's also got a 75mm. He'll do 115 each shot. Okay, T14 just waiting behind that brick wall for the right moment to pull out. He's got side skirts on his tank, so he can actually side scrape quite adequately and still block any damage. So we've got a Japanese Type 95 on our team. He's moved up a little way. He's just to our right there, you see. Now he's got very thin armour indeed, so he's very vulnerable. And that guy is a bot, for sure. And unfortunately now he's actually getting in our way, which means we probably wouldn't get good shots on the enemy if the enemy did pop out. But he keeps turning around in circles. Typical bot behaviour, I'm afraid. You can identify which tanks are the bots. They're the ones with a colon before and after the name. So we can see both Type 95s on our team are bots. Well, it looks like our Type 95, or the one behind us, is pulling back. Whereas the one that's actually the other side, on the other street, is still progressing, and he's moving up on that Type T14. And now might be the right moment to actually make a move and try and get at that T14 with the help of this Matilda. That's a real person in that Matilda. Okay, it'll take the pressure off the Type 95, but it might also distract the T14. Okay, just keep together, move up together, and then when you do reach the enemy, you can both blast away at the same time, and the enemy tank should expire from just sheer weight of fire. Okay, we've been proximity spotted, but now's the time to go forward, Bob, not back. Now's the time to attack, because the Matilda's starting to take fire. Now he's angled his armour, but ProvoBob's using premium ammo, so he should easily be able to punch through even with premium ammo. He would have difficulty with standard rounds, and the T14 did bounce one round there, but he did get one in earlier, and he's tracked him now, but he did take a hit there because he's very badly angled. In fact, The armour on the Excelsior is much thinner on the side, so you want to face the target forward, not try and shoot at the sides like this. You're giving the enemy free shots into your side and making it easy for him to kill you. So it's very bad positioning by Bob, and he does know this. He should know this for sure, not to face any enemy tank with the side of an Excelsior. Okay, now he's still doing it. Bob knows this, all these facts. He's played this tank often enough. He's got 2 marks of excellence. So it's very surprising that he's not driving the tank correctly. That's too heavily angled. Now he's well positioned the wreck now. If he pushes that wreck a bit further out, he should be able to shoot over the engine deck. That's better. Okay, so keep doing that. Oh, yep, he's firing HE now, which isn't going to do a lot of damage. Remember, that thing's got side skirts, and side skirts will deflect the shots. Again, he needs to fire standard rounds into the weak spots. That's a bit better. He's using APCR though now, so he's wasting credits. Okay, that one punched through. Gets another punch through. This one should be the kill shot, I think. It is. So he's burned up a lot of hit points that he needed to keep, but he has finally killed the T14, and now he can go after that DW2. I'd suggest though that he switches back to the armor piercing rounds though, because the DW has got very thin armor. It's not for no reason that the DW2 is known as the douchebag wagon, because it's a very, very bad tank. Very thin armour indeed. Easily be able to punch through it. And there's the DW, and there's an M8A1. DW is very difficult to miss. There you go, get the kill. Couple of shots. Well, one shot should be enough to finish him off, and he gets him. Okay, potentially he's got the high caliber. Punches one into the M8A1, the Scott. See if we can get another one. Yes. Just keep those shells going into him. Oh, no. Back behind the building there. And he's got the kill at last. So he's now up to, is that 5 kills? I'm showing 3 kills actually, but anyway. There's only 4 enemies left. And only one of them is, oh, 2 of them are not bots, sorry. The SU-76GFT is not a bot, and the Chi-Nu is not a bot. We just lost, we lost the chance to kill the 14TP, but he's going to have to motor all the way over to the other side of the battlefield if he wants to get those kills to get a Top Gun. He's got the Top Gun, the high caliber, if he can maintain the fire rate. You can never guarantee that somebody else might score more than you. I think it's pretty sure that ProvoBob's got this win. This is the first in a couple of battles. Okay, spotted the M8A1's very close. He's in the bushes, and the M8A1 knows that we've seen him now. One more shot. That's it. Okay, so there's only one more to get. He's over the other side. It's the SU-76GFT, and he is a live player. Driving directly across the battlefield is going to be difficult for him to stop the SU-76 getting shots into him. And I think he is actually behind those buildings up there ahead. Oh, he's actually in the bushes. I was wrong. Okay, but he now knows that we can see him. And 2 more shots to kill. That's one. Go for the kill. Yep, got him. And that's the end of the game. It's a reduced numbers game. Here's the end of battle results of the first game. It was an ace tank for ProvoBob in the Excelsior. He's had one before, it's not the first time. He's got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5, 1/3 of the enemy team and 1 short of a Top Gun. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a bruiser for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 10 in total, and he did get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and his win rate was very high, 10,009, which is Super Unicum standard. He would have earned a lot more credits though if he'd used standard ammo instead of using the APCR so much. Yes, he did manage to get the highest damage in the game, 2,376, but there was somebody fairly close to his score, and that was the M10R-M, and that's why I say you need to keep up your fire rate, because somebody else might pass you, and you might not know that. 2,075 hit points went to the M10R-M, and the third highest damage in the game was that T14, 1,561 hit points to him. When it came to kills, it was ProvoBob again with 5 kills, 3 kills to the M10R-M and to the Matilda on the enemy team, and also to our looks. And when it came to base XP, it's ProvoBob with the only one over 1,000, 1,412, but the M10 was close, 934 to him, 752 to the looks. ProvoBob fired 42 rounds in this game, 33 direct hits on the enemy, 24 penetrations, 3 splash. Damage of 2,376 hit points, of which 648 were at more than 300 meters, so you can see the vast majority of the damage was done at close range. He received 10 hits from the enemy, 5 of which penetrated, 5 non-penetrations. Most of those penetrating shots were because he badly placed himself on that corner. The armour on the Excelsior is much thicker on the front than it is on the sides. In fact, if you present your side to the enemy, you're effectively saying to them, hit me here and penetrate me, because you will get through that armour very easily, but you can't get through it so easily if you fire at the front of the vehicle. 550 hit points of damage blocked by armour, 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, 361 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 65,316 credits for the game, 50,000 for completing the first win of the day, 115,316 credits altogether, but yes, he did fire a huge amount of APCR that he didn't need to fire, and so he only made a tiny loss of 6,642 credits. And if you take into account that that was the first mission of the day, the first win of the day, and take that 50,000 off, he actually made a loss of 44,000. So yeah, not a good game. You really do need to wean yourself off the premium ammo and start using standard ammo, but fire it at the right places on the enemy tank, and you will get through their armour and it won't cost you so much. 2,118 XP times 2 for the first victory, 847 for this being a premium tank, and took away 5,083 experience points altogether. So that's the end of the first game. A nice little ace tanker game, but a bit too many credits spent. Let's see how he gets on in the next game. Here's the second battle, and it's on the south spawn of Steps. And somebody's just asked the platoon, and the game is on. It's the T40 that tried to platoon with ProvoBob, and he's headed off down to the west side of the map. Now, remember previously in the last battle I actually mentioned this armour is thicker on the front than it is on the sides. It's 114.3mm at the front and the rear. It's only 31.75mm on the side of the vehicle. So yeah, if you actually angle your tank or just basically drive out in front of the enemy with your side facing to the enemy, he will also almost automatically pen you unless he hits the tracks. So it's completely totally the wrong thing to do, to actually come out in front of someone. Actually it's 114.3 at the front and 108 at the back. I got that wrong, but it's still very strong at the front and the rear of the vehicle. Best thing to do is actually not to present your side to the enemy at all. Angle if you can to stop the enemy trying to get an automatic pen, and just bully the enemy with that incredible fast fire rate. Now I just saw a T28 which was hiding behind a rock over towards the right. And instead of going out round the other way, because there's a B1 on that corner, he's deciding to take this corner and see if he can plonk that guy from there. Yeah, nice. Oh, he's using the wrong ammo again. The T28's got very thin armour. A standard armour piercing round, in fact an HE round will probably go through the T28's armour. So it's totally the wrong ammunition to fire. Okay, here's the B1. Now, virtually every one of his shots will penetrate this guy, because he is basically an inter-war tank that, well, mid-war tank. The B1s were built towards the end of the 30s, but they weren't really a match for the modern tanks, and that's why so many of them fell in the Battle of France. Mind you, some of the B1s took an enormous amount of hits from the German tanks. Okay, well, the DW2 managed to sneak up on the corner there because our teammates weren't covering that corner. And he's now going to deal with this T28. 2 shots should take it. Yep, gets that guy. Almost loops that shell onto the target. Now he's backing up to deal with the DW2, but that guy's gone around the corner. And we can see the Matilda's using the corner very accurately as well. Oh, that was a good shot. Through the gun mounts as well. And another one. Here comes the DW. It's a bot. There are bots in this game as well. ProvoBob's almost got the high caliber already. I think he has got the high caliber. Yes, he's easily punching through that guy, but he's using premium ammo again, and we've got to wean him off that premium ammo. What he needs to do is start playing this tank without any premium whatsoever to see, can he win the game with standard, with no or premium ammo at all. I'm pretty sure he can. He's just burning up so many credits every time he plays this game by using the premium ammo, and he's not angling well enough for that Matilda. The Matilda is getting pens into him. In fact, I'm pretty sure that some of those pens are actually going through the turret. As you can see, one went through the front plates, one went through the gun. No. He's aiming for the Valiant. Now he needs this premium ammo for the Valiant because the Valiant does have tough armor like him. So he would have difficulty trying to pen that guy with standard ammo, unless of course he gets behind him, in which case it's a lot easier. He's burned far too much premium ammo on tanks that just didn't need premium ammo. He could have just taken out the T28 and the DW2 with standard ammo and he'd have plenty of premium rounds spare. But I really think that Bob needs to learn how to play this tank with standard ammo only. Force himself to play it with only standard ammo, and then I think he might find that he's actually quite successful at earning huge amounts of credits. Well, the Type 95, who's a bot, has decided not to continue to engage the Valiant, but ProvoBob's going in to try and finish the guy off if he can. He shouldn't take too many shots, and there's that Matilda again. Now, unfortunately, that guy is blocking us. Go for the Valiant. That's it. He's tracked. That's better. Now, move up on that Matilda. It'll only take 2 shots to kill him. If the Type T34 gets there before us, I think he's going to get the kill instead. Bob's trying to cut him off. Go to this side. Type T34 is taking damage from the Matilda. But here's ProvoBob to finish him off. Oh! Type T34 gets the kill. And their team is losing now because they're down to just 4 players up against 6 opponents. And most of the enemy are over on the other side of the battlefield. Excuse me. This is going to be a bit of a problem because they basically have the position. There's only the RT-40 actually defending our cap area. Everyone else has come up this side of the battlefield. And if the enemy is defending their cap area, it's going to be very difficult to dislodge them. But if they actually go the other way and try to seize our cap, I think we're going to have difficulty trying to get back in time to reset them. And that's what they're doing. They are capping at the moment. It sounds like the BT7 got a reset by the T40. Going into the cap might be a mistake at this point because there are enemies still watching. He fires the M8A1, but it's these other guys that are going to be the problem. The Stug, it's got the 75mm or the 105mm. ProvoBob's decided to confront them head on. I think he should be able to get the M8A1 and the Keyhoe because they're fairly lightly armoured. Oh, that one zips over the Keyhoe. Come on, that's better. Okay, the M8A1 is firing in this direction, but watch out for the Stug. He's firing from the right. took a round from the M8A1, and the enemy is now capping at the other end. In fact, there's more than one tank down there. There's an M5A1 as well as an M8A1 and a BT7. It's now just 2 versus 5. He's trying to use this little dip here to see if he can get closer to the Stug, or is he going straight back to his own cap? Oh, he's going straight back, which I think is a mistake, because he really needs to get rid of that Stug first, or the Stug will finish him off as he's on the way. Because remember, the Stug's firing into his side, so he's going to deal with the Stug. I don't think we can get back in time to deal with the cap, so it is going to be a loss. That's better. One more shot to kill the Stug. If he's lucky, no, 2 shots. And he gets the Stug before he dies, so he gets a top gun. But sadly, it is a loss because the enemy capped out. Yeah, I did mention they neglected the cap. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was another ace tanker game from ProvoBob in the Excelsior. He managed to get a duelist in this one for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 7. He got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, he got a top gun for getting at least 6 kills, and he got a steel wall for blocking the most damage in the game and surviving, receiving at least 11 hits, but I'm afraid he did lose the game because it was captured. The cap was capped, and he got 10,929 win 8 on this one, so it's bigger than the previous one, still Super Unicum standard, but sadly, yeah, they lost because they didn't have enough cover on the cap. There was too many enemy tanks down there. The guys at this cap were trying to keep them occupied whilst the other guys were capping. And I did say it was a mistake to try and go to the cap. I thought that what he should have done is actually gone back to his own cap, where the enemy, obviously they're in numbers, and then he could have taken that lot out and then forced the other guys who were defending their own cap at the other end to come after them, and that might have given him a chance of getting a win. Still, at least he got rid of that Stug 3G. We can see here he did get the highest damage, but only just. 2,490 hit points went to ProvoBob, 2,352 went to the Stug 3G. So yes, he was lucky that he didn't lose the high caliber. He might have lost it if he hadn't taken out the Stug 3G. If he'd actually carried on to try and get back to his own cap in time, I'm pretty certain the Stug would have passed him and killed him before he could get back there. The third highest damage in the game actually turned out to be the M8A1, 1,852 hit points. The fourth was the Type T34, 1,267. When it came to kills, ProvoBob had the highest number of those with 6, double the next highest score, which was the Stug 3G, the M8A1, both got 3 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, it's actually the Stug 3G who did the best with 952, but that's because his team won. Second highest was ProvoBob with 939. Even though he lost the game, he still got a very, very high base XP, mainly because he won or got so much damage, and he did get the medals. So that helped him a great deal. When it came to detail, 38 shots fired, 30 direct hits, 27 penetrations, 2,490 hit points of damage, all of it done at close range. Received 25 hits from the enemy. This time round he did try to keep his front to the enemy at most of the time, so even though he received 25 hits, he did get 12 penetrations but 13 non-penetrations and blocked 845 hit points of damage by armour. So yes, he did take a lot of shots, but most of the shots he actually took in that one came from that Matilda, who was really accurate and was firing in those 2-pounder rounds, which goes straight through the armour. So yeah, it's very difficult to stop those rounds because they have so much penetration. About the only thing you can do is try and attack them all at force or all at once and try and catch the Matilda so he can't reply back. And he might have been able to do that actually if he had actually caught that guy or forced that guy to come out from around that corner. Anyway, 845 hit points damage blocked by armour, I did say that. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, 370 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 63,950 credits from that game, 6,300 for courageous resistance, that's because it was a lost game, even though he got battle hero medals. 70,250 credits altogether, but he fired a lot of premium ammo yet again. burn through the ammo. It's a complete waste because he doesn't need to use the premium ammo at all. 36,397 credits loss. So he must learn how to use standard ammo. In fact, if I had charge of his ammo loadout, I'd put a couple of HE rounds in there, just getting resets, and then load the rest with standard AP, and then tell him to play standard AP without any premium whatsoever. Or alternatively, I could say I won't do any more of his replays until he learns to fire only standard ammo, and see if he'll do that for me. 1,408 XP. 807 for Courageous Resistance, 886 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 3,101 experience points altogether. It's not as if Bob doesn't have the skill to actually win these battles. He does. It's just he tries to blast away with premium ammo all the time and compensate for lack of skill with premium ammo instead. And yeah, I think he's just taking it easy rather than trying to play it hard. If he used standard ammo to try and maximize his profits, I think we'd get really great results. Because I know he knows where to hit these enemy tanks. He prefers to play these tanks by just blasting away at them with premium ammo. And he doesn't care about the fact that these tanks don't have very thick armor. In fact, they're so thin on the armor, it's dead easy to take them out of the game. You just need to put the round in the right place and they go boom. Especially when you've got very, very thin armoured tanks. It's like the T-28 or the Type 95. Yeah, just fire standard ammo at those and they'll just crumble. Anyway, nice game, Bob. It's a pity you didn't win, but I think if you had followed my advice and gone straight back to your own cap, I think you would have won that one, because I don't think that Stug, if you'd gone straight down the gully in the centre of the map, I think that Stug wouldn't have seen you, and you would have got back to the cap, taken out all the enemies there, got yourself a Defender medal, and then taken out the Stug and won the game afterwards. There you go. If you enjoyed that replay, or those replays I should say, please give this video a like, do subscribe to my channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm.
They did. Good job. They did, Goops. Good job.
And please do let other people know that this channel exists, because apparently most of the content creators in World of Tanks don't even know that we exist, and yet we've got over 7,500 videos, which is actually sometimes, I think it's about 6 or 7 times the number of videos that other people have got. I know some top players like Jingles and Klaus Kellerman and Quickie Baby have got multiple thousands of videos. And they're catching up at last because, of course, I'm not producing as many for What Arty Noobs as I used to in the past. But nevertheless, we've still got a lot of videos for this channel. So, yeah, please do bear that in mind. If you sent a replay in and you're waiting for one to come out, I haven't been able to play the game myself for about 6 months now. Because I just don't have enough time. Too busy doing videos. So, yeah, please bear that in mind when you're waiting for your video to come. Thanks for watching.